Hi, and welcome back to Yoga with Janie Rose. Today's class is an intermediate level vinyasa flow inspired by the Rocket series. Since this is an intermediate level class, some prior yoga asana experience would be recommended before practicing with me today. When you're ready, you can meet me on the mat, setting up on 4 points with hands under shoulders and knees under hips. On an inhale, let the belly drop as you lift the chin for cow pose. Exhale as you round through the back to cat. Inhale, cow, sits bones up, chest opens forward. Exhale, press into the hands as you open the shoulder blades. Take another pass, inhaling through cow. Exhaling through cat. From cat, tuck your toes, sink your hips to your heels, stretch your arms long, and rest your head down on the ground for child's pose with a foot stretch. You can take this opportunity to connect with the breath, breathing deep into your rib cage, expanding your heart center across the back body, and exhaling to settle into the pose. We'll be here for a little bit. In child's pose, option 2, rise to fingertips, drawing the shoulders away from the ears and just noticing a hollowing out sensation in the armpits here. Just a couple more breaths. On an inhale, rise to tabletop, 4 points. Then untuck the toes and sit back on the heels, sliding your feet over to the left and sitting to the inside of your heels. Left fingertips remain on the earth as you inhale your right arm by your right ear for a right side body stretch. And continue with long, deep breath. Slowly inhale, come back to center. Exhale to all fours, then sit back and switch sides, heels to the outside of your right hip. Right fingertips stay on the earth, and your left arm reaches up and overhead for a left side body stretch. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, back to all fours. From here, left hand, palm up, slides under the right arm, taking the left shoulder down, left side of the head down for a twist. You might choose to cross your ankles like I'm doing here, as that just helps me feel a little more relaxed. From here, press into your right hand, inhale, come out, and exhale the other way, taking your right shoulder down, right side of the head down. Breathe deep into your twist. Inhale as you press into your left hand and gently come out of the twist. Tabletop with a straight back, then tuck your toes and exhale through downward facing dog pose. Let's take this opportunity to open up the back of the legs, bending one knee at a time. We'll be here for a few extra long, deep breaths. On an inhale, walk the feet halfway up the mat, lengthen the spine, and again bow into a shorter stance, downward facing dog, just to deepen the hamstring stretch. From here, inhale to toes and shift the shoulders over the hands, walking the feet through between the hands. Planting the feet about hip distance, inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold over legs. Again, inhale, let the head be last. Exhale, bow. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. Pause for a breath. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step the left foot back and your right leg high to three-legged dog. Bend into the top knee and open the hip wide. Exhale to release your right foot to match left. Inhale through plank. Exhale the knees, chest, and chin down to Ashtanga Namaskara. Straighten the legs back behind you and inhale, roll up to a cobra pose. Exhale, lower down slowly, take the head to the earth, then press back to the knees, tuck your toes through downward facing dog pose for a few breaths. Inhale, steps the right foot through between the hands in runner's lunge. Lower the back knee, untuck the toes. Stay low or inhale, reach the arms to the sky, open the chest, take a breath. Exhale, sweeps the hands down, tucking the back toes, step to the top of the mat, lengthen the spine, and exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step the right foot back and sweep your left leg high to three-legged dog. Bend into the knee, open the hip. Exhale, release your left foot down. Inhale, rolls through plank. Exhale, releases the knees, the chest, and chin down to Ashtanga Namaskara. Straighten the legs back, hip distance. Roll through cobra, inhale. Exhale, lower down slowly, touch the forehead to the ground. Press back to the knees, tuck your toes through downward facing dog pose, and breathe. In your downward facing dog, think about pressing into the hands and shifting that weight towards your heels. On your next inhale, lunge the left foot through between the hands and lower the back knee, untuck the toes. Exhale. Inhale, reach the arms to the sky and pause for a couple of breaths, breathing deep into your hips. Exhale the hands down on either side of the front foot, tuck the back toes and step to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, reach up, take a little back bend. Exhale through standing. Inhale, reach up, back bend, lifting your heart towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Relax your neck. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, steps back to plank. Inhale here. Exhale, lower down to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, tops of the feet. Exhale, downward facing dog, and breathe. One more breath in downward facing dog. On your next inhale, rise to toes, bend through knees, walk or lunge to the top of the mat. Inhale through half lift. Exhale, fold over legs. Inhale, rise, reach up, open your heart to a back bend. Exhale through standing. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back to plank. Inhale in plank. Exhale, lower down chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, and breathe. On an inhale, rise to toes, bend through knees, walk, lunge, or hop to the top through half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, reach up to a back bend. Exhale through standing. Utkatasana chair pose, bend the knees, sweep the arms up by the ears, inhale. Hold for a breath, draw the shoulders away from the ears and the belly button towards the spine. Then exhale, fold over legs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, floater step back through plank and chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, steps the right foot between the hands, setting up for warrior one. Stay here for 5 breaths. In warrior one, draw the left rib cage forward as you sink into the front leg. Press firm into the back foot. Lift your heart and roll your shoulders away from your ears. On an exhale, hands to the earth, step back to plank and lower chaturanga. Inhale through upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Other side, left foot steps through, back heel pivots. Reach up and breathe for 5 long deep breaths. On your next exhale, hands frame the front foot, step back to plank, lower chaturanga. Inhale through upward facing dog. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Let's take a few breaths. On an inhale, rise to toes, bend deep into the knees. Walk, lunge, or hop to the top. Half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees through chair pose. Inhale the arms up. Exhale through standing. Bend the knees, chair pose. Inhale. Exhale, fold over straight legs. Half lift, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, floater step through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right foot between the hands for warrior one. One inhale. Exhale, hands down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Other side, left foot steps through. Inhale, rise. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, and breathe. On an inhale, rise to toes, bend through knees, walk, lunge, or hop to the top through half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, chair pose, reach the arms to the sky, and stay here, interlacing your fingers and shining the palms up. Draw the shoulders down the back. Draw the belly button back. On your next exhale, take the chest towards the thighs and reach the palms forward. Then fold over legs, hands to the earth, relax the neck. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, lunges the left foot back, pivot the heel down. Warrior one, inhale, rise. Exhale through, warrior two. 5 breaths here. In warrior two, consider shoulders over hips and arms reaching in one straight line. Make sure your front knee is tracking in line with front toes. On your next inhale, press the front leg straight and take it back to peaceful triangle for a few breaths. back hand to thigh, right arm by right ear for a side body stretch. From here, triangle pose. Inhale, take the arms wide, heel toe the back foot in, and exhale your right hand down, possibly catching peace fingers to big toe today, gazing up to the top thumb. Press firm into both feet and roll your left rib cage open towards the sky. On an exhale, release the hands on either side of the front foot and pivot into the ball of the back foot. Left hand under left shoulder, right arm high for a variation of revolved triangle pose. Breathe. Exhale takes the top hand down. Step the left foot back just a little bit and pivot the heel down for side extended. Option right hand to the outside of the right foot or forearm to thigh. Top arm reaches up and overhead for a nice lengthening through the side body. Option to look up, look straight forward, or down towards the ground. Peaceful triangle. Inhale, press the front leg straight. Take it back strong. And on an exhale, come back into Warrior Two stance, interlacing the fingers behind the back, setting up for Humble Warrior. Exhaling the chest down towards the thigh or inside of the thigh, relaxing the neck, reaching the arms overhead. On an inhale, let your arms pull you up to a half lift, then release the hands down on either side of the front foot, runner's lunge. Release the back knee and untuck the toes. Shift back to half splits pose. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, bow over thigh. Inhale, come up to a lunge. Slide your right heel in just a little bit, narrowing the stance. Reach the arms to the sky. And on an exhale, guide your hands to your heart center, creating a twist with a long spine, left elbow outside of right leg. Hands to the heart center, option to stay or tuck the back toes and lengthen through the back leg, creating a long line of energy from the crown of the head to the back heel. Breathe. On your next exhale, slowly unwind, plant the hands, and step your back foot to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Again, inhale, half lift. Exhale, steps your right foot back, setting up for Warrior One. Inhale, rise. Exhale, Warrior Two. On your next inhale, press the front leg straight, take it back, peaceful triangle, back hand to thigh, left arm by left ear, option to look up. Press firm into both feet as you have strong legs, creating a solid foundation. Inhale, come up with arms wide. Heel toe the back foot in and take the left hand down. Option again, peace fingers to big toe in triangle pose. Exhale takes the top hand down, frame the front foot with your hands. Pivot onto the ball of the back foot and take the left hand high to the sky for revolved triangle pose. Exhale the top hand down. Setting up for side extended. Step your right foot back just a little further and pivot the back heel down. Keep the left hand to the outside of the left foot or forearm to thigh and reach the top arm up and overhead. Option to look up. Inhale up strong to peaceful triangle. Exhale through humble warrior. Hands behind the back, interlace the fingers. Inhale to lengthen the spine and exhale, bow in, reaching the arms overhead, hugging the left knee in towards the left shoulder, drawing the belly button towards the spine and pressing firm into the back foot. Inhale up to a half lift, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, the hands on either side of the front foot, pivot to the ball of the back foot and release the back knee to the earth. Untuck the toes. From here, we shift back to a half splits pose. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. On your next exhale, bend back into the front knee. Slide your left heel in just a little bit to narrow the stance. Inhale, rise up with a long spine and reach your arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart and twist. Right elbow to the outside of your left thigh. Option to keep the back knee down or tuck the back toes and lengthen the legs strong. Option to look up as well and breathe. On your next exhale, unwind, plant the hands, and step back to a plank. Inhale in plank. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale through downward facing dog. From here, we bring our forearms to the earth, setting up in dolphin pose. Relax the neck, but gaze down, and start to walk the feet in a little closer towards your arms if you can. When you're ready, you can lower the knees, untuck the toes, bring the big toes to touch, hips to heels, arms stretched out and head down for child's pose. Breathe deep into your back body here. On your next inhale, tabletop position. Exhale through downward facing dog. Inhale to toes, bend through knees, hop, lunge, or walk to the top through a half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale through half lift, heel toe the feet open, hip distance. Catch peace fingers to big toes, lengthen the spine, and exhale, fold. Draw the shoulders up away from the ears and relax the neck. Center your gaze on a spot between your legs and breathe deep into your chest. Keeping the peace fingers hooked to toes, inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to waist. Inhale, rise to stand. Reach your arms to the sky and rise onto the mounds of the toes. We hold, drawing the belly button back, and again centering your eyes on a spot that's not moving to help keep your balance. Exhale the heels down, hands by your sides. Step your left foot back, widespread foot pose, feet parallel. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, bow all the way down, hands between the feet. Lengthen, inhale. Then fold as deep as you can, exhale, bending the elbows back. On your next inhale, walk the hands under the shoulders to half lift, then reach peace fingers to big toes. Lengthen the spine, exhale, fold. Elbows draw back towards your legs and the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale through half lift, hands under shoulders. Exhale, walk yourself to the back of the mat, framing your left foot. Release your right knee down and untuck the toes. Right hand stays under right shoulder as the left arm sweeps up and back for your right foot. Option to draw your heel closer towards your hip to deepen the stretch in your hip flexor and quad. Gently release your back foot down, hands to the inside of the front foot. Walk yourself back to widespread foot pose, then to the other side. Lowering the back knee, untucking the toes, left hand under left shoulder, right arm reaches up and back for your left foot. Breathe into your hip. Option once again to draw the heel towards the hip for a deeper stretch. Gently release the foot down, hands to the inside of your right foot. Step your back foot to the outside of the left foot now, squatting down into your yogi squat malasana. Elbows to the inside of the knees, gently opening the hips wider with hands to heart. If your heels are lifted and you need to keep your hands on the ground, that works too. On your next exhale, plant the hands, straighten the legs, and heel-toe your feet together. Inhale through half lift. Exhale, hands to waist, and slowly inhale to stand. From here, we come into pyramid pose. Hands behind your back, either reaching for elbows or reverse prayer between the shoulder blades. Step your right foot behind you and pivot to face the back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold over the right thigh. Relax the head and neck. Press into your feet as you inhale slowly to stand, then switch sides, facing the front. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bow. Inhale, slowly rise to stand, allowing the head to be last. Step your right foot to the top of the mat. Release your arms. Preparing now for a balancing sequence. Coming into tree pose by shifting the weight over to your right foot, guiding your left foot into your right thigh. Hands can come to heart. Focus your eyes on a spot, your drishti point, and breathe, perhaps reaching the arms to the sky. Exhaling, hands to heart, preparing now for dancer's pose. Slide your left knee forward and then your left foot back. Left hand holds the inside of the foot. Inhale, reach your right arm high. And as you exhale, press your foot into your hand till you can't go any further. Begin to hinge from the hips. Inhale, coming back to standing, but keep the foot in the hand. and your right hand to your heart. Pause for a moment here. Setting up for round 2, reaching your top arm high, pressing your back foot into your hand, then shifting forward, and this time you might option to join me in diving dancer. You can bend into the standing leg, reach your right hand under your right shoulder onto the earth, and keep pressing your top foot into your top hand. Option here to look up. It's always a little humbling to practice balance postures in the elements. And when you're ready, you can gently begin to rise up just as you went in, full expression dancer, and then exhale, release to standing. Let's take this opportunity to connect with the breath, one hand to heart, one hand to belly. Tree pose, vrikshasana on the other side, shifting the weight to the left foot, right foot into left thigh, hands to heart or reach up to the sky, and breathe. Exhaling, hands to heart center, setting up for dancer's pose. Right knee forward, then foot back, reaching your right hand to the inside of your right foot, left hand to heart. When you're ready, reach your left arm up by your left ear, and exhale, press your back foot into your back hand till you can't go any further. Start to hinge from the hips for full expression dancer's pose, and breathe. Slowly coming back to standing with left hand to heart, right hand keeps holding the right foot. Pause for a moment here before setting up for round 2. Inhaling the left arm high once again. Press your back foot into your hand, then hinge forward. Option once again to join me in diving dancer. You might choose to bend into the standing leg with the left hand under the left shoulder, reaching the top leg high. If you feel stable enough to look up, now's the time. Take a couple extra breaths. I always find the second side is easier than the first. On your next inhale, gently rise up. Full expression dancer's pose just for a moment. Then exhale, release into a standing posture with one hand to heart, one hand to belly, connecting with the breath and slowing the heart rate with long, deep breath. On an inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Relax the neck. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or float back through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And let's take a few breaths. Inhale, sends the right leg high. Exhale, bend into the knee, draw the knee towards the nose, plant the top of the foot to the earth, then slide the left foot through between the legs, sitting to the inside of your right heel. You can pull your right calf muscle off to the side to help here, and if you need to sit on a block or a pillow, do that. Inhale, reach the arms to the sky, and exhale, fold over the left thigh. We call this pose Triang Mukha Ika Pada Paschimottanasana, which means 3 limbs facing 1 foot, forward bend. On your next inhale, rise up 1 vertebrae at a time, bending into the left knee, planting the left foot, stepping back to a plank, and exhaling to lower, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, exhale, down dog. Setting up for the other side. Inhale, sends the left leg high to the sky. From here, bend into the knee, draw the knee towards the nose, then plant the top of the left foot down. Slide your right leg through between your hands, sitting down to the inside of the left heel. Again, inhale, reach up. Exhale, bow down with a straight back and breathe. Slowly rise on an inhale, coming to seated. Bending into the right knee, planting the right foot. Hands to the earth, step back to plank through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. From here, lower your knees to the ground and separate your feet sitting between your heels. Once again, you may need to sit on a block or a pillow. Inhale, reach the arms to the sky, and exhale, hands to elbows. Option to stay in this variation or bring yourself down onto your forearms. This could be enough. Stay here, and some of you might even choose to lay all the way onto your back. If this feels like a lot of compression for the low back, then come out. Otherwise, you can reach your arms overhead and take hands to elbows. On your next inhale, gently begin to press up to seated. Inhale, reach the arms to the sky, create a long spine. Exhale, hands to knees, and gently round out through the back, chin towards your chest. Coming through to all fours, tabletop. Step back to plank, and exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll through to plank and lower everything to the ground. Feet are hip distance. Walk the hands out in front of you, setting up in Sphinx pose. Press into the forearms to lift the chest. If there is lots of compression in the low back, separate the feet a little wider. Optional to stay in Sphinx pose or half frog. Left knee to left edge of the mat. Left hand to left foot, gently guiding the heel in towards the hip. Press into your right forearm. Exhale to release your left foot back in place, Sphinx pose. Right side, right knee to right edge, right hand to right foot, guiding the heel in towards the hip, pressing into the left forearm. Exhale, release your right foot down, coming back to Sphinx pose. Lower the head, forehead to the ground, arms by your sides, palms face up. Locust pose. Brace your core, draw the belly button back. Inhale, lift the head. Exhale, lift the feet for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower everything down. Second set. Interlace the fingers behind your back. Inhale, lift the head and chest. Exhale, lift the feet. Keep a strong core for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way down. Slide your hands under your shoulders, and when you're ready, press back slowly to a child's pose for a few breaths. Inhale, roll through tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Setting up for Ustrasana Camel. Inhale to toes, bend through knees, walk or hop your knees behind your hands. Hip distance. Keep the toes tucked as you inhale, rise. I like to start by by interlacing my fingers behind my back to help roll my shoulder blades in towards each other. Keeping that, guide the hands to the waist. Inhale, lift the heart, long spine. Exhale, press the hips forward. Option, reach back for your heels. Keep sending the hips forward, pressing into the toes. Inhale, slowly rise up, and exhale, sit back on the heels or in between the heels for a few breaths. When you're ready, set up for part 2. Option to have the toes tucked or untucked this time. Inhale, lift the heart, draw the belly button in. Exhale with a long spine, press the hips forward, open your chest towards the sky. Once again, option to reach back for heels. If the toes are untucked, press into the tops of the feet, sending the hips forward. Lead with your heart as you inhale, come up, and exhale, sit back on heels or between heels. Hands might come to knees as you pause for a few breaths, long spine. When you're ready, you can make your way into Balasana, child's pose. Big toes touch, knees together or knees wide. Option to stack hands under forehead. Breathe into your back. Option to stay a little longer in child's pose. Otherwise, step back to plank and lower through chaturanga. Inhale through upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. In downward dog, send your right leg high to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, sweep your right shin behind your hands as if you're setting up for pigeon, but then take your left leg forward with your right foot into your left thigh for Janu Shirshasana. Inhale, reach the arms to the sky. Exhale, fold over the left thigh and breathe into a long spine. On an inhale, rise up slowly to seated. Bend into the left knee, slide the left heel in towards the right hip. Right foot can stay to the inside of the thigh or guide it into your left hip crease. Right hand can reach around for a bind to the right foot and left hand comes to right thigh. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, twist deeper. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, unwind. Option to keep the bind as you bow over the legs, feeling a nice hip stretch on the right side. On an inhale, gently rise up to seated. Send the legs forward and come into boat pose, Navasana. Knees can stay bent, hands can hold legs, or reach them straight in line with your shoulders. Option to straighten the legs and breathe. Crossing the legs in, roll forward, plant the hands, and step back to downward facing dog. On an inhale, lift your left leg high to the sky. Exhale, sweeps the left shin behind the hands. Then the right leg sweeps forward, setting up for Janu Shirshasana on the other side. Inhale, arms to the sky, lengthen the spine. Exhale, hinge from the hips and bow over thigh. Breathe. On your next inhale, slowly rise up, setting up for Bharadvajasana on this side. Left foot into right thigh or left foot into right hip crease. Option to reach the left arm around and take a bind. Right hand comes to your left thigh. Inhale, square your chest to the side, and exhale, look back. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, unwind. Keep the bind as an option. Forward fold over the legs. Take a few breaths in the hip stretch. On your next inhale, rise up slowly. Release the bind if you have it, and come into your second boat pose, Savasana. Once again, option to hold the legs with your hands. Otherwise, keep your hands in line with your shoulders, reaching your arms long, and you might even straighten your legs. Gaze up to your toes. Exhale the feet to the earth, keep them together, and let the knees fall wide, setting up for Baddha Konasana, seated. Hold your feet with your hands and open them like a book. Roll your shoulders down your back and sit tall for a few breaths. Inhale to grow a little taller, then exhale, hinge from the hips over the feet. If accessible, relax your head down towards the ground. Draw the shoulders away from the ears and the elbows straight back. Breathe into your hips. Inhale lifts you up to seated. Exhale the knees together, planting the feet. Then prepare yourself to laying down on your back for the rest of class. Exhale the knees into the chest and give yourself a little squeeze. Option forehead to knees. Then release your arms long and let your knees roll to the left, gazing over the right shoulder. Inhaling the knees to center. Exhale the knees the other way and gaze over the opposite shoulder. Let's spend a few breaths here. Inhale takes your knees to center. Exhale to straighten the legs, point the toes, and reach the arms overhead to a long morning stretch. Inhale deeply, fully, and exhale out the mouth. Let's do that one more time. Big inhale, out the mouth, exhale. Separate the feet wide, let the toes fall open to the side, and reach your arms by your sides, or one hand to heart, one hand to tummy. Allow yourself to breathe naturally here. I'll wake you in about 5 minutes. You can begin to deepen your breath and wiggle the fingers and toes. Inhale the arms overhead and exhale the knees into your chest. Take your time, making your way to seated when you're ready by rolling to one side and pressing up, or hands under thighs and rocking up. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. This truly was a magical spot to practice. I really enjoyed it. And if you liked the class, please don't hesitate to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and share it with a friend. Also, consider subscribing to my channel. That would be greatly appreciated. Have a wonderful day, and namaste.